All right, welcome back to the channel. We've had another cold front come through. It's same old story, but it's overcast, it's spitting a little bit, it's chilly, it's going to be really windy today. But I keep coming out on these days because I know soon these cold fronts are actually going to help. Stripers should be showing up any day now. Man, it was a choppy, wet boat ride over here, I can tell you that much. Very unusual. We're in November, and fishing's usually a lot better than this by now. But there are still some good fish to be had. If you watch my last video, I caught a nice largemouth and some nice spots. And I hope I don't get soaking wet. It's misting, spitting a little bit. There we go. I switched to the jig. I'm telling you. Ooh, it's a nice one too. Nice chunky spot. All right. So he really jumped on that jig. I knew it would work. I keep waiting for some, I want to be able to catch them a different way just to keep the videos interesting, but you got to throw what they want to eat. Nice spot. Man, it's a little nippy. Which is a nice change from what we've had. Just a rocky point here. That's where that fish was. These fish should be starting to feed up for the winter, That's why a crawdad is a jig is a good choice, because it looks like a crawdad and a very high protein meal for them. That fish really thumped it like you want. The last few trips they've just picked it up and they haven't really. I like to feel them thump it. Hey now. There we go. He's not a big one, but I'll take him. Looks like something might have had a hold of him. Kind of got it scarred up on the side there. It's really not where I expected the fish to be either, I guess. That's two. I have to work tonight, so I'm planning on not fishing long. There we go. Ooh, it's a nice one. Oh, maybe I should have netted that one, but nice fat football. Right on the point. That felt good. You know, I've got two different apps that I use for weather, and neither one of them said it was supposed to rain today. And I'm, you know, it's pretty wet out. That fish jumped on it. There just doesn't seem to be very many. Do I need to go? I might have to go see what the largemouths are doing. So far today I've tried my hair jig, crankbait, swim bait, and the jig is the only thing I can get bit on, which is unusual. I mean, I always get bit on the jig, but normally by November you're, you know, fishing's pretty good generally. And here comes the rain again. You can see this just steep, rocky. That's the kind of spot I'm looking for. There we go. It's another spot. I'm up here in largemouth country. Where are you hooked? Another nice spot. Up here in largemouth country. I just knew there's going to be some fish up here, but it's not what I expected. I thought for sure I would be catching largemouths up here. Boy. I believe I thought this was going to be a big largie, but I think it's a big spot. Ooh, boy. It's a jumbo. It's a biggin. Wow. Yeah, I got my scale out. Still haven't put it away, so might as well see what she weighs. 3 something is my guess. $3.79. $3.79. That's a nice one. That's a good one. Good fish. I was expecting a largemouth. Huh. What do you know? What do you know? I will take it. Ooh, that was a nice one. And just for the millionth time, I'm going to show that's the jig I'm using. It's a dark green pumpkin. It's got some black. It's got blue in it. The blue is very important. My boat seats are wet, so now my butt's wet. 3.79, almost a 4-pounder. Man, that fish jumped on it. That's what you want. No question about that one. These nasty days are sometimes they're the best fishing days. I mean, I'm not killing them, but I've caught some nice fish. I don't take for granted these, these tough days. We're lucky. Everybody watching, for the most part, is an American, and we have some of the best fishing in the world here in America. Do not take that for granted. Try to keep my lens dry here. The weather guy didn't say anything about rain today. So I didn't wear my rain gear, so I'm getting pretty damp. So the water's really dropping. We haven't had much rain, and the Corps of Engineers is lowering the lake for whatever reason. I wish they wouldn't do that, but you've got to adapt to the conditions. You see all this riprap, all these rocks along here. It's a good place for a crawdad to be crawling around, and that's why there should be a bass hanging around. Whew, boy, you get a little bit wet and it's chilly. It is chilly. I don't have very much longer to fish, but I'd like to catch a couple more. I think I will. I'm pretty certain there's going to be another fish or two. Man, I keep sitting back down on this wet boat seat, and it's kind of uncomfortable. No largemouths today, which is kind of surprising after I caught that big one there the last episode. So the last couple trips haven't been good for numbers of fish, but it's been pretty good for bigger fish. Hopefully that's a trend that continues. But I'm still having to really work for them. I can't complain. A 3.79 is a good bass. I don't care what species of bass you're talking about, but for a spot, that's a good bass. That's a good one. And again, you want to make sure you work your jig with your rod and not your reel. Water temperature 66.5 back here in the back of the creek. So it's a little cooler water temperature wise. I had 67 more out in the creek. There we go. It's one of them humpback fish. It's a weird looking, I think that's a largemouth. I'm not quite sure, to be honest. He's all deformed. I never felt him bite it. It's a weird bite on that one. Of course, he wasn't, He had some issues. He was like a dwarf fish or something. I will take them though. Big uns, small uns, I don't care. I like catching fish. Boy, I'm looking forward to the stripers showing up. This is perfect striper weather. They're just not up here in big numbers just yet. Might be a few around. Whew, I got chilled after getting wet. Whew. That wind is a little, it's not overly cold. It's in, you know, mid 50s maybe, but the, you know, the wind's blowing and it's really wet. Just soggy out. Man, all kinds of wild turkeys up here in the woods. So cool to see. Got the gobblers. There's actually quite a few turkeys over here. So I probably spent a little too much time watching the turkeys there, but interesting. I like seeing the wildlife. I like capturing the wildlife on video. There was a bunch of turkeys there. That was a big old flock of turkeys. The wind's kind of died down. That's probably not helping matters. There we go. Hey now. Ooh, it's another good one. I better get the net. Ooh. It's another jumbo. Oh, it's another tub. I'm not gonna weigh it, but that's got to be close to 3 good fish. The old jig. Boy, that fish really thumped it. Right off the side of this point here, I'm setting in 40 feet of water, so it drops right down. It drops off quick. That's important anytime you're fishing, especially a jig. You want it to drop off quick. Deep water close by. All right, I'm gonna go home, get thawed out, take a nap. But that was I can't complain. That was a pretty good day considering the nasty conditions. But thanks for watching. Make sure you give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and make sure you come back and see me right here, same place on Thursday or Sunday or the next time I'm out here. Thanks for watching.